Hello, my friend, again. Welcome to the new video. All the love in the world, all the peace I'm sending you right now. Receive it wherever you are in the world. Alright, let's dive directly into the topic of today, which I think is very, very important. And it came to my mind, and I thought that I have to talk about it. And this topic is our relationship with God. Your relationship with God. I know we all have different backgrounds and we came from different countries and cultures. We had different religions. And I find that the common theme in all the cultures, almost all the cultures and the religions, when it comes to the relationship with the person and God, it's more likely based on fear. You are afraid of doing the wrong thing because you don't want to get God angry or upset. You don't want to do stupid things because you are afraid to go to hell. And regardless of the names of this universal power, of this source, in this video I'm calling it God because it's common between lots of religions, so this will make it easier for me to describe the force. Well, we give it different names, but it's one force. It's our source, right? It's the infinite intelligence. It's the biggest thing in the world. The thing is, the problem with fear is that if your relationship with God is based on fear, you won't realize the real love. And this will really affect the connection between you and God. And because your connection with God is poor, then your connection with yourself and with other fellow human beings is poor as well. And so my suggestion in this video is to start shifting. You don't have to shift or change your religion because I respect whatever you believe in, okay? But try to start shifting your relationship with God from fear-based relationship to love-based relationship. I would love to give an example, a small story, a short story, and this might make it a little bit clearer for you. And I read this in one of the groups on Facebook that talks about spirituality, and that group inspired me in so many ways. So the story was written, and I still remember it. It's so short, but it's so powerful, and it's got a very deep meaning if we think about it and if we implement it in our lives. One of the spiritual leaders from India, he lived in the 20th century, was a Zen leader, and the Zen is Zen, I think, and it's I didn't read a lot about it, but it's not, I don't think it's a religion. Rather, it's got spiritual practices and ways they approach to connect with the nature, connect with God, um, just like meditation and yoga, but they have their own spiritual practice, and anyone can practice that. Even though I didn't apply it or I didn't read a lot about it, but I love his teachings, and I got so much inspired by him. His name is Osho, and Osho was always talking about love, was always talking about God, was always talking about simplicity and basic things that we tend to forget but are very essential to live a good life full of love and prosperity. And the story is like this. One person, a man, came to this Zen teacher and he asked him for a medicine to fear God. It's like he asked him for a medication that will make him afraid of God. And Osho said, I don't have a medication for you to be afraid of God. However, I have a medication that makes you love God. And the man said, yes, that's what I want. Please give it to me. And Osho said, it's the love of one of your relatives. Period. The story is finished. Now, this might sound a little bit strange and not even connected to our topic, the relationship of God, or the relationship with God, but it's really connected, strongly connected, because the realization here that comes is that God is not separate from us. God is not separate from other human beings. God is not separate from anything. If you want to understand the real love, God's love, look at the person that you love the most, whether it's your mom, partner, kids. Just think of one person you love so much. And imagine that God gave them this love. And they are just expressing God's love. And you know that person very well, and you know that they love you, pure love. So if you pay close attention to this love, you realize that God's love is no different, no different. And you start connecting God to everything instead of making God a separate entity in our mind that is sitting somewhere in the heavens and watching us and waiting for us to make mistakes and torture us. Can you just shift the idea of God's separation to the idea of the connection of God with everything? Look at nature. Look at the water in the pool. Look at the river, the blue sky. Look at the butterfly. Look your kid or your kids in the eyes. And if you really desire to know what real love, God's love, is, you will find it everywhere. It's not in one place, it's everywhere. And if you change your relationship with God from a fear-based relationship to a love-based relationship, your whole life will start to change. You will see God in every relationship. You will see God in nature. You will see God everywhere you look. You will feel God's love whenever and whatever you're doing. Regardless of where you are at, regardless of the time, regardless of the person you're sitting with, regardless if you are in nature or in your home or in your car, you sense this love of God all the time. And that's why meditation helps a lot in this regard. Because in meditation, you close your eyes and you travel within. You go within, and there is a whole universe inside you. And God is inside and not outside. I know this information, this knowledge is so critical. And I know at the same time that it could trigger your thoughts and your beliefs about God. But again, I respect your religion and I respect the way you think of God, right? This is my experience. This is many people's experience. I chose to be open, and I chose, to change my approach and my relationship with God. And my whole life has changed ever since. So that was my invitation to you, to change your relationship with God from fear to love, from worry to tranquility. And everything will change. Everything you do will become easier. Yes, there are challenges all the time, but the way you look at challenges, even this one will change. So that's my message to you today, my friend. I hope it helped you. If it did, please share it with someone who needs to hear this. I love you. Also, make sure you press the bell button and you subscribe to the channel so you can receive all of my videos. Okay, let's wrap this video up. Again, I love you. I send you peace wherever you are at, and see you soon.